Hello future teacher, welcome. In this video, we are going to learn about cooperative learning environment, and this is one of the topics for teaching multi-grade classes. Once again, welcome. And in this video, we are going to learn three things. First is the definition of cooperative learning. Second is the different classroom setup in multi-grade classes that of course promote cooperative learning. And lastly, we are going to talk about the roles of teacher and students that promote cooperative learning. So hopefully you are going to finish watching the video so we can all meet the objectives for this lesson. So, the first thing that we are going to talk about is the definition of cooperative learning. So, what is cooperative learning? I know cooperative learning is already a familiar topic to you or a familiar term for you. However, we need to reiterate once again the definition of cooperative learning. So, cooperative learning is an instructional strategy in which small groups, and when we say small groups, at least 5 students in one group. And those 5 students in a group will work together on a common task. Again, the minimum number of students in a group is 5, and the maximum number could be up to 15 to 20 students. Really? That big? That large number of students in one group? Yes, of course. It will depend on the total number of students in your classroom. So since we are handling multi-grade classes, of course there are like grade 1 or grade 2 in one classroom, so we could really expect that there are lots of students inside our classroom. Now, how many groups are there should be in one classroom? Or how many groups should be the class be divided into? So we could group them into 3 to 5 clusters or 5 groups. So say for example, we have 30 students in one classroom. So we could divide them into 5 groups. So how many members is that in each group? So probably there are 6, right? 6 members in one group. Okay, so again, the number of groups in one classroom could be 3 to 5 clusters. So the minimum number of students in one group will be 5. Okay, so I hope that it is clear for you. Now, what are those example activities when we make use of cooperative learning? So, first activity is that learners solving a multi-step math problem together. So, kasi nga, may kasabihan, um, two brains is better than one. Two heads is better than one. So in our case, since 5 students are the minimum number of members in one group, so 5 brains is better than one. So those 5 learners could actually work together as a team to solve a multi-step math problem. Okay, the another activity for cooperative learning approach is developing a design for a new kind of school. Let's say for example, uh, you're going to task your students to design their ideal classroom, the arrangement of furniture, so on and so forth. So this is our like cooperative learning approach is one of the most effective approaches, or cooperative learning is one of the best instructional strategy that we can use in terms of like allowing them to design or to plan a project, or this kind of activity, a new kind of school. So lastly, another example activity for cooperative learning is that each group member is individually accountable for part of the task. So since they will be given individual tasks, the members of the group should really work on their task or work on the task given at their hands, so that the group will finish the task all together and successfully. Okay, unlike other like individual groups or something or other activities. So the students will not be accountable because the members will just, or like the students will just work together by themselves. So parang wala silang kailangang intindihin kahit, or wala silang kailangang alalahanin whether they got a low score or not. Okay, so for this cooperative learning, they really have to do their best. They really have to contribute something for their group so that they could achieve high score altogether, or they could finish the project altogether successfully. So again, these are the different examples of activities in terms of cooperative learning. Now, sometimes we hear the word collaborative learning. So, what is the difference really between collaborative and cooperative learning? So, in cooperative learning, this is anti-competition. If you can remember in the slide before, each member is held accountable for part of the task, meaning to say, if member number one does not complete the task given at his hand, the work of the whole group will be jeopardized. So this is not this cooperative learning is really an anti-competition. They have to work together. They have to help those students who are having difficulties so that they can progress together as a group. And in cooperative learning, yes, this emphasizes in the group, yeah, and not in the individual. And they are going to put their heads together in the search for like completing the objectives of their task. And the teacher this time is active in structuring the lessons, aims, and objectives. So in collaborative learning, um, it's like they are just going to help each other strengthen their like talents and skills. However, like the focus is developing or cultivating individual strengths. Okay, however, in cooperative learning, they try to elevate, like they try to progress together as a group. So since our focus is on cooperative learning, so just try to read the differences between cooperative and collaborative learning, as well as their similarities using this Venn diagram. So you focus on this circle for the cooperative learning. Now let's proceed to the next slide. So how can we organize the physical space in our classroom given that we are handling multi-grade classes? Okay, how are we going to make our multi-grade classroom a well-organized classroom wherein we can make use of cooperative learning as instructional strategy? So first, we have to consider the space of our classroom. Because we are handling multi-grade classes, we are going to like handle grades 1, 2, and 3. Of course, it is very ideal for us to have a large space in our learning areas. Okay, so in our classroom, if you can see here in the photo, so medyo malawak talaga yung classroom. And another one is our classroom should have a variety of different learning center spaces. Take note, our classroom should have learning centers. What are those learning centers? Let's say, for example, reading corners. What else? Yung like the discussion about having like dress up corner, so on and so forth. Why is there a need to have learning centers? Because this will allow our students, even though they came from different grade levels, they will be able to interact with each other. They are going to like learn different learning materials. Okay, so hopefully you got the point. And another thing that we need to consider in constructing or like organizing our multi-grade classroom is the floor space. So if you can see here in the photo, the classroom is not like the furnitures are arranged in a way that there's still a space at the center of the classroom, wherein the students could actually play at the center of the classroom, or they could do different activities that the teacher will give them. Okay, next is we need, as future multi-grade teachers, we need to consider the places for students to work independently. That is why it is very important that we will have like individual tables and chairs. So the tables should be like designed na pwede siyang the students can like own the table by himself, or the students can like rearrange the tables, and then like they will form a group. So we have to again arrange places for students to work independently. Fifth is we our classroom should have a display area. What do we mean by display area? Let's say for example, yung sa sa may isang corner tayo wherein we are going to have a cabinet, and inside the cabinet, so there are like um mga models for science, like models of the human anatomy, models of um like the solar system, or if different models and mocks up should have a specific or like designated places for them. Okay, another things that we can put on our display areas are those like what else in mathematics, what are those different manipulatives that we can use in mathematics teaching. So those are the learning materials that we need to secure, especially if we are having multi-grade classes. Next is the flexible desk or chair combinations. So like what I've told you earlier, the tables should be able to be like used individually, or could be formed as a like as a group. So they are going to just arrange the furnitures, the tables and chairs, so that they can have an like an easy or comfortable feeling in terms of doing group works together. So next is that our classroom, our multi-grade classroom should have a reading area. So what I can share about this is that in one library I have visited, so of course that was a very high like maintained class or high status school. So their library have this comfortable couches, like the bean bags, like the sofas, the sofas are very soft, of course, and then the students love like they really love spending time in that reading area, because they feel very comfortable, they feel very relaxed, and so they can make use of, they can consider it as their leisure time. They are enjoying the feeling of comfortability, at the same time they are enjoying, or like they are learning, like they are reading, they are spending time to learn something through reading. So that is the importance of reading area. Again, when we establish, or when we have this reading area, we need to make sure that it's a comfortable place to stay for our students, so that they will have an enjoyable time. Next is the storage area. In this storage area, of course, we this is where we are going to store our instructional materials, so on and so forth. And for the roster, what is a roster? Not the rooster, the male chicken, but a roster is actually a list, a table which shows the schedules, the work that are tasks that are designated for each of the students. So for example, I know this is already um you'll say, "I this is already familiar because we are observing, the cleaner, so on and so forth." So for, you can as you can see here, this is the duty roster for grade 2 Hope for the year 2012. So for example, so we have here Chinese, like mixed students. So their duties are specified here. So sweep the floor, empty bin, or like, yeah, they're going to throw the garbage, arrange tables and chairs, clean whiteboard, tidying bookshelves and art bags. And on Monday, there are specific persons who are assigned to do those things. Okay, so in this way, our students will become responsible, they will become accountable, and of course, we can expect that the tasks or the routines in our classrooms are well observed. So this ends the first part of this lesson. So see you on the next video. Bye!